We had one production day, multiple locations, a tight deadline, changing weather, power issues, and a story about a mother's sacrifice that still needed to feel warm, emotional, and premium. This is how we brought Chilled Hair to life. One of our cherished clients reached out to create a Mother's Day campaign video to promote their real estate properties and also to support the long-term impact of their business. The campaign was created specifically for working professionals with the idea of group buying, encouraged by siblings pooling together resources. We did not have a lot of time between filming and the project going live, so we had to be very efficient with the team, the timing, and every production decision on set. In this video, I am going to take you through the behind the scenes of the production, share some of the decisions we made on set, and also show you some of the challenges we had to solve while filming. For me, this BTS is not just showing the camera and the lights, it is about showing you every small decision that helped protect the emotion of the story. When the client reached out about the project, I was excited to make it come to life. We have worked on previous campaigns for them, so all I could think about this time was how to make this campaign feel better than the previous productions we had done for them. I wanted the quality of the work to feel richer, the story to feel more emotional, and the final campaign to feel more intentional. The real question for us was, how do we make a real estate campaign feel less like a property advert and more like a story about gratitude, family, and giving back? Because I would be behind the camera most of the time, I reached out to Adam to help me direct the talent and manage performance on set. I shared the idea with him and he was immensely on board. We also brought Simon, our gaffer, onto the shoot and he did an amazing job with the lighting, especially because of a few spaces which were not easy to work with. Having a small but focused team helped us move quickly without losing control of the creative direction. The campaign concept was to highlight her mother's love, protection, and sacrifice. Over the years, she shielded her children in different ways. Now that the children have grown up, they have decided to shield her too by buying a new home, hence the theme, Shield Her. What I loved about this concept was that the home was not presented as just a building. It became a symbol of appreciation, safety, and return. Since this was for a real estate development company, the main locations were made available to us and casting was handled by the client. So we did not have to do too much heavy scouting or casting work. However, the planning still mattered because we were working with multiple cast members, multiple locations, and a tight timeline. Even when the client provides the locations and talent, we still need to think through movement, lighting, wardrobe changes, makeup timing, and how each location connects well to the story. The projected filming time was 8 hours, and when you are working with multiple cast members across different locations, time is one of the most important things to manage. So we went with a small crew. I opted for my Canon R6 Mark II using 3 lenses, the Canon 50mm f1.8, Canon 85mm f1.4, and the Canon 16-35mm Mark III f2.8, which I used for most of the shoots. I paired the camera with a tripod and the DJI Ronin S2, which came in handy for run and gun shots and movement where we had to move quickly. For this production, the gear was not the main story. The main thing was speed, flexibility, and being able to capture emotion before the moment disappeared. We filmed according to location, so all the office scenes were shot together regardless of where they appeared in the final video. In the actual story, the office scenes come later, but for production efficiency, we filmed the office scenes first, then moved to the children's home and finally the new home. This approach helped us save time, but it also meant we had to keep the emotional continuity of the story in mind while filming scenes out of order. The office space was tight, so Simon had to find a creative way to light the scene. Since this was our first scene of the day, we spent a lot of time going over the lights and shots to make sure the look was right. That made us lose a bit of filming time, but it also helped us set the visual tone for the rest of the production. This is one of those moments where you have to balance perfection with speed. You want the shot to look good, but you also cannot allow one scene to take over the whole day. The idea in this scene was for the sales representative to welcome the children who are now grown up into the office and guide them through paperwork for the home. I don't brief the cast on what to do. We made a few adjustments and then we got to the shots. I then moved on to film close-ups on the 16 to 35mm lens. This allowed me to quickly zoom in and out while on the running. For the contract shot, I switched to handheld on the 50mm. The Canon R6 Mark II has in-body stabilization, so I was not too worried about shaky footage. The close-ups were important because they made the property decision feel real. The paperwork, the hands, the expressions, and the small reactions all helped sell the moment. Let me quickly talk about our sponsor for today, Fission Studios Ghana, which is my creative agency. At Fission, we create videos, photos, and campaign content for brands, businesses, and individuals who want their work to look professional and connect with the right audience. What we really do is help clients turn their ideas into strong visual stories. So beyond just filming, we think about the message, the emotion, the audience, and the value the content is supposed to bring. From real estate campaigns to events, corporate productions, product content, and personal brand visuals, we help our clients show up better, communicate better, and create content that actually works. So this BTS is proudly powered by Fission Studios Ghana. Now back to the video. We moved to get a shot of the grown-up children being welcomed into the office. Filming here was challenging because the entrance had glass doors. We had to expose for the indoor subject without completely blowing out the background outside. To solve this, we first used an ND filter to bring down the exposure. We lit the scene with 3 lights, blasting the light up at the white ceiling through a cone to create soft, even light. But then, we noticed reflections in the glass, including our own reflections. So we had to record and monitor from the Canon EOS utility app in another room. This is one of the things people do not always see in the final video. Sometimes the cleaner shot is created by removing yourself from the room completely. During the edit, the tripod and camera were still visible, but masking them out was easier than having to mask out an entire crew. Here, you can see the mask in the final shot. Let me know if you want a detailed editing breakdown video on how we fixed that. This is a good example of production and post-production working together. On set, we made the best decision quickly, and in the edit, we cleaned up what was left. Next was the mother scene. This is where things started to go against our favor. But we pushed through. In this scene, the mother receives a phone call about her daughter not feeling well. She leaves everything and rushes home to attend to her sick daughter. Emotionally, this scene was important because it showed the mother choosing her child over everything else. That sacrifice is what makes the final house reveal feel in. We got a few establishing shots and started switching to close-ups of her work and the moment she picks up the call. Then the weather changed and we lost power. No power meant no light, and without light, we could not continue filming that scene the way we planned. In that moment, we had 2 options: pause the whole production or adapt quickly. We chose to keep moving.
Can you just capture her entering the car? So you saw her running from her desk. Yeah. So let's do an outside shot. So she runs towards the car and she enters.
So we moved to the first outdoor scene where the mother rushes into a car, drives out, and then transitions into the home scene.
This
could just make she come back small.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, this way. So
we packed up, adjusted the plan, and moved to the next location. This shoot reminded me that the production is not always about having perfect conditions. Sometimes the skill is knowing how to protect the story when the conditions change. Things got a little hectic during the bedroom scenes where the mother had to go check in on the child. We did not capture much BTS footage here. After planning and agreeing on the shots for this location, we went straight into filming. Time was already far spent, so I had to prioritize shooting quickly over capturing BTS content. My assistant Eden was filming BTS for me whenever possible. This is why having someone dedicated to BTS helps. As the main shooter, your attention is always split between performance, framing, lighting, continuity, and even time. In the living room, we had to film the children playing while the mother realizes there's no food. She searches the kitchen, finds garri and sugar in the cupboard, and her mood is lifted because she has found something for the children to eat, and that was fun to film. The children also became excited because they now know they would have something to eat to survive until the next day. This small moment was very important because it showed sacrifice without forcing it. It was not dramatic for the sake of drama. It was simple, familiar, and human. We filmed this from multiple angles: the children's perspective, the mother's perspective, and wider shots that showed the whole space. We captured her heading to the fridge, captured a shot from inside the fridge, looking through the cabinets, and finally finding the gari. These details helped us build the memory that the adult children later look back on. From there, we moved on to film the children as adults in their home. Things moved fast from here. In this scene, they reminisce about their old memories with their mother, recognize the sacrifices, and begin searching for a home on the company's website. This is the point where the campaign shifts from memory to action. They are no longer just remembering what she did for them, they are now deciding what they can do for her. Here you can see me directing more as well, while filming on the running to get dynamic shots as the talent interacted naturally. Trying to listen to what it's also saying, The running helped me reposition quickly and move around the cast without slowing the performance. I was mostly around the 35mm range on the lens, which gave me a balance between intimacy and enough space to show the environment. I love using the running in moments like this because it lets the scene breathe. The actor can move, react, and feel natural while I adjust around them. We still had one final outdoor scene, and time was moving fast. We had to finish this section, allow the cast to change outfits, and give the mother enough time for her makeup transformation into the older version of herself. We needed enough headroom for all that to happen before the final scenes, while we still had daylight. On a shoot like this, daylight becomes part of your schedule. Once it starts going, you cannot negotiate with it. The final location had the least number of shots, but these were the shots that brought the whole video together. Our main constraint here was that there was no power at the location. We were also close to sunset, so we had to find the best way to make it work with the natural lights we had left. This was the emotional pay of the entire campaign. So even though we were tired and racing against time, we could not afford for the scene to feel rushed. We made sure to let in as much light as possible. First, we filmed the reveal where the children presented the keys to the house as a surprise to their mom. We did not have many angles to work with, so we decided to film facing the entrance. We kept the door half closed in frame, and as they appeared at the entrance, we opened it fully. The mother reacts and enters the new space. Come in. The door becomes a simple visual symbol. She is stepping out of years of sacrifice and into a space created for her. Okay. Wow.
Isn't this beautiful?
Give her a hug. Give her a hug. After that, we filmed the same action from their side profile to give us another angle of them entering the building. 1, 2, and go. Then we filmed the family experience the property, smiling, walking through the space and taking in the moment. Every single angle had to matter. We could not shoot endlessly, so we focused on reactions, movement, and warmth. We also used the reflector to make the most out of the little light we had left in the room, because the sun had already gone below the horizon. Finally, the whole family came together and shared a warm hug. That hug was the emotional full stop of the campaign. Everything the story had been building toward came together in that one moment. And that was the full production. This production reminded me that filmmaking is really problem solving with emotion. You can have the best plan, but once you get on set, time, weather, power, space, and even people will test that plan. The goal is to keep the story alive no matter what changes. Thank you to Signal Development for once again choosing us and trusting to bring this campaign to life. We will continue to give you more value. Thank you as well to everyone on the team who helped make this production possible. I appreciate everyone who stayed to the end. If you watched up to this point, leave a fire emoji in the comment section. Let me know if you want more breakdowns for my productions. My name is Elom, creative lead at Fission Studios Ghana. Thanks for watching and stay for the final video. Peace.
Did you feel safe? Protected? Think back to when you felt held, loved. Do you see your mother standing between a child and everything that could break that child? No request for rest, no demand for return, only quiet certainty that safety would be ensured. She was your first home, your first shield against the world. There were storms you never saw, days when she had nothing, yet gave everything, and somehow her home never felt the weight she carried. She made struggle feel like a game, turned little into enough, because to her, your happiness was everything. Now you understand. She was protecting you all along. Every sacrifice is seen, every contribution is remembered. She does not have to carry it all anymore. Now you have the chance to offer what was given: safety, comfort, and love. A home she deserves. A home that lets her know she is well taken care of. A Signum home. Nothing says thank you like a home built on love.